Hey guys, second topic here, and the topic is about Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which is the sequel to Venom. It has...
Who was in that, by the way?
I was in it.
Just in case you didn't.
Yeah, it is past the domestic box office of the first film.
Don't lie.
Which is... yeah.
Larry's taking South for dinner now.
I wish. I don't get none of that.
He owns 20%.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, that, as they're saying here, is proof that there was movie going during the pandemic, which we know there was anyway. I mean, we would go into movies during the pandemic, so you know, we're hardcore movie cinema
Movie buffs.
But yeah, so this
Big up Yemi.
Big up Yemi, yes,
Big up
yes,
Yemi.
yes.
Movie buff.
But anyway, this comes to us, the article via Deadline, and it says, more bragging rights for Sony, the studio dedicated to the theatrical window and distributor of the highest grossing film of the pandemic, Spider-Man No Way Home. Their Marvel sequel, Venom Let There Be Carnage, now counts $213 million, $213.5 million at the domestic box office, clicking past the 2018 first title's 213. Only just, actually. No wonder they put the small figures in there.
Oh,
Only just.
By two...
So I have to read the exact figures out now.
Okay.
So it says, Let There Be Carnage made 213.517 million.
0.517.
And Venom, the first one, the 2018 one, made 213 million point 515.
Is that £200 or $200?
Or 2,000. I'm not sure. One of them two. But anyway. Yeah, so...
A couple bucks.
We beat it by a few tickets.
But anyway, it says...
That's us.
Venom Let There Be Carnage opened over the October 1st to 3rd 2021 weekend and made $90 million, for which for a minute was the highest domestic opening during the pandemic, before Spider-Man No Way Home pushed it to second for the COVID era with 260.1 mil. The first Venom got to its final stateside gross in 112 days, and the sequel is pulling ahead in 117 days. Not too shabby by pandemic standards. In the wake of Spider-Man No Way Home becoming the fourth highest grossing movie of all time at the US Canada box office, with currently $723 million. Venom 2's ticket sales are just another indicator that superhero movies sell and sell extremely well, like we needed to be told. During the pandemic, even though titles geared towards adults are challenged. Focus Features just delayed what they'd consider to be their tentpole Downton Abbey: A New Era from March 18 to May 20. As Nancy already reported in early December, Venom Let There Be Carnage has already clicked past the $500 million point at the global box office. The Andy Serkis directed sequel now at $506 million. After minting $1.7 billion worldwide from Spider-Man No Way Home, now the sixth highest grossing movie worldwide, Sony has that Pixar Tom Holland's next title, Uncharted, opening on February 18th over the 4-day President's Day weekend. Right, guys. I think that means that Sony are in the money. But Damien, what are your thoughts in it? Just I don't know. No, I know. Anyway, I'll leave my thoughts for later. But just passing the original Venom's domestic box office, in domestic meaning US. What do you think about that? And what do you think about it making just over $500 million?
First of all, I think Sony owe all three of us some thank you, because clearly we helped you pass that by the few tickets that he got, and he's in it. So yeah, 3 of us, you need to mention Gym Rat Pack. We got you extra money. But yeah,
Baby, I got your money.
I said, hey,
June,
Bruno!
yeah. No, for me, it's like it tells you that cinemas are definitely working, pandemic or no pandemic. Venom 2, obviously, I have to eat a little bit of humble pie. The film made some money. I will shut my face. But yeah, I had a very good time with it, as I said before in the review, so I'm not surprised it is doing well. It deserves to do well. Circus created a very lean movie, what he made, so it deserves that. And Sony obviously are going to be full steam ahead with whatever they do now. Hopefully they get the traction right when it comes to Morbius, and that film knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
It also leads me to think that, are they really going to push now for Amazing Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, because the rumours are that they are, aren't they? Because everyone gravitated towards Andrew Garfield, and he was kind of hard done by when they hired Tom Holland.
Yeah, and he's the only one that hasn't done a third Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
So give him a
Give him a third one.
Give him a third one.
And get Venom in that movie. That's what I might do as well. I think they might bring him into that as opposed to the Tom Holland universe, because they might enable him to do a darker spin on it.
That's interesting.
Because where Marvel will be tied into keeping Spider-Man light. I mean, I think the darkest they could go was No Way Home. But I think Garfield, they might allow it to go
a little bit
15
darker.
because we've got the 12 family for anyone over here.
Yeah,
Let's bring
that
Garfield
could work
in
actually.
and do
That
this.
could work. I'll be game for that. Yeah.
So, congratulations Venom 2, congratulations Circus, congratulations Hardy, and this man right here. So that's all I've got to stand on. Then I'm tap.
Leon, so what do you make of Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, passing the domestic box office for the original Venom and making $1 billion, just over $500 million, sorry, at the box office?
Thanks for that. That's a long ass. You know what I mean? Like I weren't sitting
Over
there.
to you, Leon.
Like,
after I read the Bible, and then we go.
After I do my sermon, you know what I mean? Over to you. Like I'm there, like ready to. Okay.
At one point, I feel like I should have gone sleep for a bit. Come back when you're done.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that it should have passed it. In all seriousness, I think it should have passed it by more, and the reason being because Venom was not a big name the first time it come out. I mean, it's big, but not to obviously the people that don't know Venom. You know, your grandma don't know Venom.
Yeah.
But your grandma knows Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it should have passed it, but it just goes to show that they're very consistent and they've got the right formula.
Yeah.
And they just won't stop using the formula until the formula no longer works. So, like you said, baby, I got your money. Like that's it.
That's it, man.
So,
I mean,
Lewis don't know what he's talking about. Look, what's his name?
Lewis Chilton.
Lewis
Yeah,
Chilton of the Independent. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but my thoughts on it is this.
Wait, Leon, give him a good lead in first.
Yeah. So
Larry.
So what are your thoughts and feelings, and if you can articulate like a special kind of buzz that you got when you found out this information, and like the 0.5s.
Does it feel of aspiration, and are you relieved that it's doing this? Well, how do you feel inside emotionally? Are you connected to it? Like, in a second, we'll get back to Larry. Here's the news.
Well, my fellow movie-going chums,
chums, Like dog food.
Tim Nice but Dim, listen, this validates what I always said about Venom 2, that if it wasn't in a pandemic, it would have made $1 billion. This is a movie that didn't open in China, opened in a pandemic, and still crossed $500 million. So if you take those two things into consideration, which didn't harm the first film, and the first film made, let's not forget, $856 million at the box office, this definitely would have made $1 billion.
Yeah.
And it was so anticipated as well. Remember, every time it got moved back, we were all talking about it. Everyone was talking about, we want to see this one.
That might have made it better.
It might have. It might have
built the anticipation
even
harder. Like,
do you know what I mean?
Where's this film?
But I mean, for me, and I think we've had this discussion before, it does prove that there was more movie going during the pandemic, but only for certain movies.
Yeah.
Because remember, people tried, and you almost fell into that trap of thinking, oh, cinema is back. No, only for certain movies it's back. Do you know what I mean? And this, you know, it and as the article says, it shows the strength of these superhero movies. Like, this is why I get very annoyed when people, especially people in the industry that should know better, like a Martin Scorsese, like Ridley Scott, you know, really bash them. Because, you know, I don't expect everyone to like comic book movies. You know, of course not. But to turn around and bash them the way these guys are bashing them, saying they're not cinema, they're cheap ride, you know, roller coaster rides and this and that, it does them no favors. It really doesn't. And as we've said before on this show, they need to remember that the only reason right now that they're allowed to make their films is because of these superhero films are making so much money for the
They're
studios.
just breaking you off a bit of bread.
Right. You know what I mean?
Here's a crumb.
There you go.
Make your film.
Yeah, make your film. You know, that's not gonna make a quarter of what these films are making. Do you see what I'm saying?
Pocket
so
change.
yeah, man. I mean, it's ridiculous when I hear them bashing it. And again, I'm not. For instance, I use this with my missus the other day as an example. I'm not, and I haven't seen any of those films. What's it called? A Harry Potter fan. I'm also not a Lord of the Rings fan. Does that mean that those films are rubbish? Hell no. They're universally loved. I would never turn around and say those films are rubbish. I've never even seen it, first of all, to say they're rubbish. But even if I saw it and I didn't like it, I would never turn around and say those films are not good. I would just say it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I can see why people like them.
But I love Harry Potter.
Do you know what I mean?
I love Lord of the Rings.
Do you know what I mean? And listen, they're they're universally loved films. Do you know what I mean? They're universally loved. So and by the same token, so are comic book movies, especially Marvel movies. So for someone to turn around and bash them, it just doesn't make any sense. But this is just plenty of proof that even during the pandemic, at the height of pandemic, there was still a lot of movie going for certain films. And people need to keep this in mind going forward, that these films are bankrolling Hollywood and have been bankrolling Hollywood for maybe the last 20 years now. Definitely the last 10 years. You know, so I think this is fantastic news.
What was before Blade?
Nothing really.
Nothing really.
No, I mean nothing good.
No, nothing. No, you said bankrolling, so
Yeah.
So Blade,
I would say no, because Blade didn't make that much.
Money.
It did make a profit, but it didn't make that much money.
Yeah.
I would say X-Men from X-Men onwards.
Yeah.
From X-Men onwards, because I think Blade started the movement to make comic book films.
Yes.
It was one of those ones that opened up. We can take comic book films seriously. I think X-Men made it more politically open to,
and also more universal.
universal.
because it wasn't R-rated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's something for everyone.
Yeah. But yeah, I always contend that Blade started that movement.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to say X-Men, like John Campion likes to say X-Men, but I contend it was Blade. I contend it was Blade.
When we mentioned the last one, I've always said that Blade was the one that made it cool again. It's just the X-Men, as you just mentioned, it made it universal. So if Campion has an argument there, it's because it managed to cater to all the younger audiences. Audiences. But Blade
which I get,
made comic book cool again.
Yes.
Like he
100%.
took away that bitter taste that they did with Batman Returns. Batman and Robin, or whatever it was.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Just he ridiculed that.
Yeah.
In spades.
Nice to see you.
But no, I mean this fills me with joy, especially that I was in the film.
Joy.
If you watch this show long enough, you'll know there's many Coming to America references. So
Joy.
there you go.
I'm very happy to be here.
No, you forgot the bit before that. You gotta say, hey man,
I'm
brother.
very happy to be here.
Anyway, what do you think of the news of Venom Let There Be Carnage passing just the original Venom at the box office and making over $500 million. Let us know what you think, and let us know what you thought of both films. Yeah?
My legs are cold now, give me that back.
Why you asked you to fling it anyway?
I did.